Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Let's get right into it because I have a lot to say. For those of you who are new here, I've worked overnight shifts for the last few years and I spend my breaks instead of talking to my coworkers or doing something productive like reading a book, trying to get 100% completion on any games I can get my hands on. This episode will be on the new Kirby game along with anecdotal stories of my times on the overnight shift. Here are my stories. Let's jump straight to the copy abilities. Everyone knows Kirby has the ability to absorb other characters' special abilities and copy them. In Kirby in the Forgotten Land, his abilities can be upgraded to become more powerful and unique. Let's see what we've got from left to right. The first one is called the Ranger, which allows Kirby to sharp shoot stars. If you upgrade the ability in full, you get the Buzz Lightyear. Kirby puts on his best Buzz cosplay in preparation for the new movie coming out soon. This ability is also a firm reminder to always wear safety gear while operating heavy equipment. Remember that, it'll be important for later. The Double Hammer. Kirby is upset he wasn't chosen as the judge in the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, so he absorbed the judge out of his frustration. He wears a mask and has two hammers so that he can sustain or overrule two objections in a row. He's incredibly deadly in this mode, even Phoenix Wright wouldn't stand a chance against him. The Crash ability. This ability unlocks after Kirby has had a monster or a bang in order to stay up all night. He explodes full of energy and then just crashes after the effects wear off. The key to staying up all night is to get a good day's sleep and to avoid overuse of energy drinks. If you upgrade the Crash ability, Kirby goes full Dio. He starts floating around for no adequately explained reason. He then uses his Stan's ability to stop time and moves around freely trying to find Kakyoin, causing pain and havoc along the way. This one's my favorite, the Alexstrasza. Like the rest of us, Kirby is kinda sick and tired of the Shadowlands. When he found out about the Dragonflight expansion, he put on his best Alexstrasza cosplay and went into the Forgotten Land to show off. But I think he over-sexualized it just a bit. Say what you want about Alexstrasza, at least she wears pants. Mostly. Kirby, like Alexstrasza, will breathe fire at his allies and burn them up and never apologize. Kirby managed to unlock dragon flying early and can soar through the world like a dragon. As you can see, his wings are made of flames and he soars swiftly through the air. Finally, this ability is a firm reminder of what it's like working on overnights when the closing manager forgets to turn on the AC before he leaves the building for the day, leaving the overnight associates to burn. I absolutely hate this next ability and I'm sure everyone can see why. This is the cutting ability. Kirby throws razor-sharp blades in all directions to damage his enemies. I hate this ability because there is no razor dispenser on site, which as you all know is an OSHA violation. Additionally, Kirby remembered his protective headgear but forgot to wear safety goggles. Both of these omissions are OSHA violations. Kirby is risking a fine or even termination. The Meta Knight. Kirby wanted to be a top tier S character in Brawl and ate Meta Knight to achieve his goals. If you want to be the best, you've got to eat the best. If you upgrade this ability even further, you get the Morpho Knight ability. After you beat the final boss of the game, you have to go back and beat the final boss of the game again. After that, the final boss evolves into Morpho Knight, after absorbing a butterfly that appeared in the middle of the fight with you. I didn't make anything I just said up. In other words, the Nintendo devs watched too much Golden Wind again and thought to themselves, we need to go Requiem and add in a butterfly theme somewhere in this game to boot, and thus Morpho Knight was born. It makes exactly as much sense as it did in the fight with Diavolo. The Bomb ability, which allows you to turn into a knockoff version of Bomberman. Remember, use bombs wisely. The Tornado ability. The Deep Sleep ability. Kirby took advantage of the Sleep Number mattress January sale and now uses a certified lifetime sleep mattress warranty along with the MyPillow to get a good night's sleep anywhere. The middle of the night, in his own bed, in the middle of the road, in the middle of a boss fight. Fall asleep at a moment's notice and wake up like a whole new Kirby. The Twin Drill. As someone who works in retail with heavy tools, I can tell you with confidence, I don't think I've ever held a DeWalt or a Makita with a twin drill bit. In other words, this ability is completely bogus and impractical. If there's anything I've learned in this game after playing it for so long is that Kirby has no idea how to handle or use construction equipment, and we'll get into that in a minute. The Needle ability. This ability allows you to go full Katamari Damacy. I know I already made a Warcraft joke here, but I couldn't resist this one. I spent all my talent points upgrading Blizzard, but the company still sucks. It takes forever for Blizzard to build up. Why does it take Blizzard 9 to 12 months to get any good content out? The game has a small plot twist to Kirby absorption abilities. I'm sure you've all seen the trailers, but while having a copy ability, Kirby now has what's called a mouthful ability. Kirby literally takes in a mouthful of various construction type equipment throughout the world. I already mentioned Kirby gets bangs and monsters from vending machines in order to stay awake. But did you know he gets them by absorbing the entire vending machine and becomes one with it? Kirby can actually become a vending machine and throws energy drinks at his opponents, forcing them to crash. Kirby can become one with a traffic cone. Without telling you all what I specifically do, despite working overnights, I do use traffic cones once in a while, and let me tell you that they are depicted very accurately in this game. Have you ever held a construction grade traffic cone? Not the mini traffic cones you find at Chuck E. Cheese's. I mean a real one. Those things are powerful weapons, and the cone shape on the top is more than enough to burst through pipes, concrete, and stop anything that gets in its way. The car. Kirby becomes fast and furious while in this form. The staircase. Kirby uses a ladder to reach high places he couldn't reach otherwise. I use ladders all the time on overnight shifts to reach products that are in the air or hide the tape gun from Dayside because they don't know how to share. The Flood. You guys remember Flood from Super Mario Sunshine? Well, Kirby was a fan of that game apparently and absorbed enough water to spray all the goo Bowser Jr. left in the world in order to clean up after his mess. What's really weird about this ability is despite all these Super Mario Sunshine Easter eggs in the game, neither Mario nor Bowser Jr. show up in it. The Grill. I just want to take this time to say I went to Vegas very recently. Did you guys know that Mark Wahlberg owns a burger joint called the Wahlburger in Vegas? I just wanted to throw that out there. I thought now would be a good time to do that. The storage. Kirby has clearly worked in a construction zone before because this is definitely how you demolish a construction wall when it needs to get put down. The boomerang. It works exactly like a regular boomerang, except it doesn't come right back at you. The roller coaster. Because this game is one roller coaster of a ride. The Big O. Kirby absorbs anything in a circular shape and uses it to throw air bubbles at his opponents, which is something Kirby can literally do without the use of a circular shaped item, so this one seems a bit redundant. The Steamroller. Kirby's calling out his inner Dio. The Stock Picker, which is yet another tool I use to hide the tape gun from Day Crew because they don't know how to share. Now it's time for the most important one, the Light Bulb. This one really spoke to me. You see, there's a level in Forgotten Land called Invasion at the House of Horrors. It's a perfect representation of what overnight associates go through in the middle of the night. Do you know how many times a night we have to deal with noises we can't identify? Do you know how many times we've bargained with ghosts to leave us alone? Just a few weeks ago, I was doing a half shift, and when I came in at midnight, the first thing that happened was the other two co-workers in the building were grateful I showed up because they were being attacked by ghosts. They claimed the ghost was breaking things and was running around the roof. You might be laughing, but this stuff is serious, guys. Kirby is alone in a horror-filled zone and he still goes on through because he needs to survive. This level speaks to me because whoever designed this level knows the pain overnight associates go through. We get attacked in the middle of the night, in the dark, by otherworldly beings, and we still come back to work the next day. Let's move on. This is starting to give me Five Nights at Freddy's flashbacks. There's a lot to unlock in this game, and when we do, it's all updated in the Waddle Dee village. The premise of the game is that 300 Waddle Dees have been kidnapped for some unknown purpose and you have to rescue them. The Waddle Dees you save form a small town which serves as the game's main hub. The more you progress through the game, the more Waddle Dees you rescue, the more you unlock in town. You can play a fast food game where these Waddle Dees can actually get mad at you for not giving them their food on time or not giving them the right order. If this isn't symbolic of how cruel of a job fast food work can be, I don't know what is. Kirby literally saved them from a terrible fate while in another dimension, and they still get mad at him. You can save your bonus money you get in the game and blow it all upgrading the small music stand. The band originally starts on a small stage, but the more you donate, the larger the stage becomes. Here, you can fish in a small lake to unlock the golden fish, a rip-off straight out of Super Mario Bros. The Waddle Dees opened up a Starbucks here in Waddle Dee Town, and you can order an Americano, a sandwich, old-fashioned donuts, or a caramel frappuccino. Amazon made its way in the game as well in the form of present codes. Type in hidden codes you find in the game and you can unlock rewards you normally get from Amazon Prime. Some of these codes can even be found on Twitter as a special bonus, kind of like a real-life scavenger hunt. I personally think that's a nice touch. It breaks the fourth wall just a little. If you upgrade the town to full, you become Employee of the Month and have your picture put on the wall along with statues in the middle of the village. Before moving on, there is one last thing I want to talk about in Waddle Dee Town, and it's terrifying. It reminds me of Mother Base from Metal Gear Solid V, because no matter how much you attack and torture the Waddle Dees, they always get up and salute you.
Words that kill. Would you speak into me with your breath so still? It makes me believe in the Father's love.
That game is full of trophies throughout the world. There are 4 volumes because the story has 4 main arcs to it. You can get trophies throughout the levels, or you can do what I did and use your extra coins to have a chance at getting them from the trophy machines in Waddle Dee Village. Normally, I'm afraid of things like these because of how random these systems are. You could be sitting there for literal hours trying to get everything. This wasn't too bad though. It took a minute but spread out after over 20 hours of gameplay, and it's very tolerable. Also, these are nice rewards, just small little trophies you can achieve in the game, some of which can't be unlocked through the trophy machines, but rather through gameplay systems. Each and every trophy is unique and has a little description for lore buffs. It's small, it's nice, and it's a welcomed addition to the game for completionists. Let's finally talk about the world. This world, in my opinion, is actually pretty massive. There's a ton of worlds and levels in this game, and sometimes you'll find yourself revisiting a level more than once in order to find the secrets you missed the first time. Besides getting through the level per the main game, each and every level has hidden objectives to them. If you complete these hidden objectives, or any objective per level at all, you unlock more Waddle Dees. You can be clever and try to figure out what the objectives are, or you can beat the level. When you do, the next hidden objective in line will be revealed. Now this is both good and bad. It's good because as a completionist, it tries to keep you awake to make you spot things that aren't quite right. For example, in this level, while going through it, I noticed baby ducks. That immediately stands out, especially when you get near them, they follow you. Find all the ducks and return them to their mother, and you just unlock the bonus objective and more Waddle Dees. The issue with this concept is that if you miss an objective, you have to do the whole level all over again from start to finish to get credit for completing the objective. Sure, you can come back to the level later to complete objectives, but it's just like leaving an assignment for the next day. By the time you get to it, you have to start all over again because your mind isn't fresh and you need a reminder of what steps you need to take to where you were in the first place. I personally didn't mind this. The levels aren't too long, and I actually enjoyed this game. There are a ton of enemies, copy abilities, and mouthful abilities in this game. You can choose not to play the same level twice the same way, adding some variety in the game. You can finish a level as Buzz Lightyear and go back and do it again as Revolver Ocelot. That's fine. However, I can definitely see people getting frustrated having to do a whole level again for one small objective they missed on a level that happens to be particularly long. Now, for someone playing on casual level, this game is great to pick up on the go. For example, on my overnight shifts while playing this game, sometimes I had to stop what I was doing mid-level to go back to work. So with the Switch, I just hit the power button, and 2 to 3 hours later, I came back to where I left off. The beauty is that I didn't lose my momentum playing. I could come back to where I left off. The game might be linear, but it still presents plenty of challenges. It's straightforward but challenging in its own way. Each level has you going through a linear path, facing enemies and obstacles on the way to keep things interesting. For example, in the start of the game, you gain the sword ability, and your job is to move forward, kill enemies, and figure out the controls. Halfway through the game, the levels evolve, the enemies become more abundant, they hit harder. You have to start worrying about not just enemies hitting you, but the environment as well, and the platforming becomes a bit more intense and precise. But despite all that, it's still easy to pick up and play on the go because fundamentally the controls are all the same. It's your level of skill that determines how well you do and which copied abilities you want to use to move forward. The world is divided into subzones. In order to reach a new area of the world, you need to beat the levels and free the Waddle Dees. Free enough of them and you unlock the boss level of that subzone. Only by beating a subzone boss can you progress further, which is all fine. As a reminder to anyone who watches these videos or plays video games in general, limitations are good. Building up your character as they progress through the world is good. You don't want to get from the start of the game to the end so easily. There needs to be some challenge and limitations. That's the whole point. Anyway, like I said, the world is massive. Besides going through all these levels and figuring out their hidden objectives, you have treasure roads. Treasure roads are mini games that hold items called rare stones. In order to upgrade all copy abilities, Kirby must find and collect rare stones. Rare stones are found by finding them in hidden dimensional vortexes called treasure roads throughout the overworld. While traveling through the overworld, sometimes you'll be asked to search for something and you will find coins or treasure roads. They can also be unlocked by progressing through the main courses. These roads are just mini games. You'll be asked to focus on one specific Kirby ability and use it to complete specific tasks within a time limit, and at the end you'll find a rare stone. The roads are designed to utilize a specific Kirby ability and to prove you've mastered them. There's a ton of them, over 57 roads to be exact. I like these except for one very small factor, and by small I mean enormous. I just mentioned you need to do these within a time limit, which is true, but the game has an option for a target time to complete the challenge. If you do all the challenges within the targeted time, nothing happens. You might be asking, what's the point? Great question. I don't have an answer, and are just poking. I genuinely think most of the developers for this game used to work in retail and are just poking fun of their old managers. How many times were you given a time limit for a project and then completed it way ahead of schedule? Then you turned back to your boss and told them you finished early, now what? And your manager just looked at you shocked, saying he didn't expect you to finish so fast. So you end up asking them what was the point of a time limit, and they'll end up saying just to make you work faster. And you just look at your manager with complete horror and then clock out for lunch and never come back. That's what these challenges felt like for completing them in a targeted time limit. No trophy, no reward, no acknowledgement. The developers just put these time challenges to make you replay their game over and over again and acknowledge how creative their minigames were. At some point, my third favorite Super Smash Bros. Main shows up to the show. It's the one and only Meta Knight. Meta Knight has an extremely important role in this game. He stands on this watchtower, doing absolutely nothing. Which is hilarious to me because while Kirby is out destroying interdimensional gods, Meta Knight just stands there the whole game and gets all the credit for protecting Waddle Dee Village. All the Waddle Dees talk about is how awesome and protective he is. It's more hilarious when you consider that when he does make an appearance in the game, it's to attack Kirby. I don't know, guys. This just doesn't feel right to me. He has the cooler looking character model. Everyone loves looking at him. Everyone loves the heck out of him. He gets all the credit and I'm stuck doing this. Overall, this game has a lot to offer. The main core of the game revolves going through levels until you reach the end of the overworld. Each time you complete a new level unlocks until you reach the end. Almost each level in this game is based around a customer service oriented industry. The very first level takes place in an abandoned mall. Halfway through the game, the levels revolve around an abandoned mall. Post-game content involves going through an abandoned mall. The whole game feels like it takes place in the Pentagon Mall in Washington. The levels are the star of the game, and they are fun. Each level is small and isolated and themed differently. There are plenty of enemies with plenty of different abilities to keep things interesting as you progress. The game doesn't really force you to play using any copy ability specifically. You can switch it up as often as you like, and it's great. Plenty of enemies to use your abilities on, plenty of puzzle-like challenges for you to focus on as you keep moving. This isn't an open world game like Super Mario Galaxy, but the levels are large enough and there's enough room for you to make your own split-second decisions that it's not a downgrade in this case. The levels are isolated but well thought out and offer enough challenges for casual players and completionists alike. There's even a section of this game for hardcore players that'll make Elden Ring players jealous. The Ultimate Z-Cup Challenge. This is a gauntlet to fight every boss in the game on higher difficulties from their normal boss form. They are deformed amalgamations of their original forms, and they hit harder and can take a lot more damage. You get to heal only 6 times. If you lose a life, you lose coins, and the more you die, the more coins you lose. The bosses just get harder and harder. Their abilities become harder to avoid. You will need a break because it's a gauntlet and it's meant to wear you out, and by the time you reach the final boss, who I won't show here due to spoilers, you will get exhausted. Before we wrap this up, here's my proof I 100% completed the game. Completing the game in full unlocks these 10 pictures Kirby puts on his wall in his home, and as you can see, we've gotten all 10. I guess we should end this with an actual opinion of the game. Well, in all seriousness, in the middle of the night, while I'm working desperately to make a living and moving on with my day, I get excited for my breaks to journey into the Forgotten Land. It's a quick and easy game to pick up. It has a wholesome feel to it. It plays well, the achievements and extras aren't too out of the way to achieve, and I enjoyed it very much. It's a game for players no matter what age or experience with the Kirby franchise. This game has my full recommendation. With all that being said, do you have a game you want me to 100% complete? Leave a response in the comments below for content for this channel. Final thing to note, no one's talking about this, but Solid Snake makes a guest appearance in this game. if you go to the final stages of the game, you'll see Solid Snake right here. Thank you for watching, and try not to forget anything important.